Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel Nursing Bars K. Today we will discuss part 2 of the most important question for the mains NORCET exam. Let's start the question. First question. A post-operative patient suddenly develops chest pain, dyspnea and tachycardia. The nurse suspects pulmonary embolism. What is the immediate intervention? Option A. Start chest physiotherapy. Option B. Place patient in a high fowler position and give oxygen. Option C. Encourage ambulation. Option D. Give oral fluids. The answer is option B. Place patient in high fowler position and give the oxygen, because oxygen and positioning are immediate interventions while awaiting medical treatment. So the answer is option B. Next. A patient with left-sided heart failure will most likely present with option A. Peripheral edema, option B. Jugular vein distension, option C. Pulmonary crackles, option D. Hepatomegaly. The answer is option C. Pulmonary crackles. In left-sided heart failure, it occurs the pulmonary congestion. In right-sided heart failure, left-sided pulmonary congestion. Pulmonary congestion in right-sided systemic edema. Right-sided systemic edema. Next. A psychiatric patient states, I am worthless and want to die. What is the nurse's priority action? Option A. Ignore the statement. Option B. Ask about suicide plan and means. Option C. Divert attention with activities. Option D. Give the sedatives. The answer is option B. Ask about suicide plan and means, because this is the priority. When patient tell like that I am worthless and want to die, assessing the suicide risk is the priority nursing care, because the patient want to die or they want to harm their self or they are planning for the suicide attempt. So the answer is option B. Next. A nurse is caring for a patient receiving mannitol for increased intracranial pressure. Which finding indicates complication? Option A. Increased urine output. Option B. Crackles in the lungs. Option C. Decreased ICP. Option D. Stable BP. The answer is option B. Crackles in the lungs, because mannitol can cause the pulmonary edema. Because due to fluid shift. When the fluid shift occurs, then it can be happen. So the answer is option B. Next. After a road accident, a patient has open fracture with bone protruding and uncontrolled bleeding. What should be the nurse do first? Option A. Immobilize the fracture. Option B. Apply direct pressure to the bleeding site. Option C. Cover wound with sterile dressing. Option D. Start IV fluids. The answer is option B. apply direct pressure to the bleeding side, because hemorrhage control is the priority trauma, not the immobilize the fracture. At first we have to keep the patient in the safe side, then we have to apply the direct pressure for the stop bleeding, then we have to cover the wound sterile dressing, then we have to immobilize the area, then we will start the IV fluid. At first our priority is the applied direct pressure, so the answer is option B. Next, a patient develops extravasation while receiving chemotherapy through the IV. What is the nurse's first step? Option A, discontinue infusion immediately. Option B, apply cold compress and elevate the limb. Option C, inject the antidote. Option D, flush vein with the saline. The answer is option A, discontinue infusion immediately, because stop infusion at once to prevent the tissue necrosis. If the IV should be continued, what will happen? Like that, the tissue will be like that necrosis and the tissue will damage occurs. So at first we have to discontinue infusion immediately. So the answer is option A. Next, a patient with cirrhosis develops confusion, ataraxis and altered level of consciousness. Which lab value should the nurse expect to be high? Option A, bilirubin. Option B, ammonia. Option C, albumin. Option D, prothrombin time. The answer is option B, ammonia, because hepatic encephalopathy due to ammonia accumulation. So the answer is option B. When the ammonia accumulation occurs, then it's happened. So the answer is option B. Next, in a patient with severe burns, which is the most critical nursing concern in the 21st 24 hours? Option A, infection. Option B, fluid and electrolyte imbalance. Option C, contractures. Option D, pain control. The answer is option B, fluid and electrolyte imbalance. We have to used the Parkland formula also. Parkland formula for the fluid calculation: 4 into TBSA, total body surface area, into body weight. The fluid should be given in 24 hours. We divided into first 8 hours, half of the fluids we given, then half of the fluids are given in the next 16 hours. So the answer is option B. Fluid and electrolyte imbalance is the most concerning thing in the first 24 hours. Next, a patient after cataract surgery is being discharged. Which instruction should the nurse give? Option A, rub the eye if itching. Option B, avoid bending or lifting heavy weights. Option C, sleep on the operated side. Option D, apply pressure on the dressing. Apply pressure on the dressing is not correct. When the surgery occurs, don't apply pressure in the dressing side. Sleep on the operated side, no. When you are sleeping in the operated side, it will be the dressing will be totally damaged, like that you are sleeping. The eye will be affected also, and the pressure of the dressing can be occurs. So avoided the sleep on the operated side. This also not correct. Avoid bending or lifting heavy objects. Yes, this is the correct answer, because when you are in the one surgery, avoid the bending or lifting the heavy objects. It is easy for the recovery also. So the answer is this. Rub the eye if itching, no. If sometimes also rubbing too much, then tell to the doctor, consult to the doctor. Don't rub the eye, because it will be occurs the infection. So the answer is option B. Avoid bending or lifting the heavy objects. Next, a nurse notice IV fluids running too fast in a hypertensive patient. The patient suddenly develops dyspnea and crackles. What should the nurse do in first? Option A. Slow the infusion rate. Option B. Stop the IV infusion. Option C. Notify the physician. Option D. Administer diuretic. Administer the diuretics. Without consent of the doctor, we can't administer the diuretics, so the answer is not correct. Notify the physician is later. Stop the infusion is the correct. At first we have to stop the IV infusion, because it's happen in the fluid overload. It's occurs. So already we have given the fluid is too fast, so the fluid is totally overload. Stop the IV, then notify the physician. In according to physician, if they are giving in the diuretics, we have to do. So the answer is option B. Next, a newborn turns blue crying but is pink when quiet. Which congenital defect does this indicate? Option A. Ventricular septal defect. Option B. Trachoesophageal fistula. Option C. Choanal atresia. Option D. Patent ductus arteriosus. The answer is option C. Choanal atresia, because bilateral choanal atresia is seen in the cyanosis relieved by the crying. In choanal atresia, when the baby is crying, the cyanosis would be relieved by the crying. So the answer is choanal atresia. Next, a 6-year-old child presents with fever, sore throat, drooling and tripod position. What is the priority action? Option A. Throat swab for the culture. Option B. Immediate intubation, tracheostomy setup. Option C. Start the IV antibiotics. Option D. Give cold fluids. The answer is option B. Immediate intubation or the tracheostomy setup, because it occurs in the epiglottitis, risks of the sudden airway obstruction. Airway management is the priority. That's why we have to immediate intubation or the tracheostomy setup should be ready. Next, a patient on mechanical ventilation suddenly develops high pressure alarm. What should the nurse check first? Option A. Oxygen flow meter. Option B. Kinking of obstruction in the tube. Option C. Sedition level. Option D. Ventilator setting. The answer is option B. When the alarm should be high pressure, we have to check immediately kinking or obstruction in the tube. It occurs due to obstruction or secretion mainly. So the answer is option B. Next, a patient with diabetes ketoacidosis is receiving insulin infusion. Which electrolyte requires close monitoring? Option A potassium, option A sodium, option B potassium, option C calcium, option D chloride. The answer is option B potassium. Insulin drives potassium into the cells. It can cause the hypokalemia risk. So we have to closely monitoring the potassium level. So the answer is option B potassium. Next, a nurse observes that a patient after surgery has sudden hypotension. After the surgery, it occurs the hypotension, tachycardia, heart rate increase, blood pressure decrease, and rapid swallow of breathing. Surgical side is dry, not wet, only dry. What should be the suspected first? Option A hemorrhage, option B pulmonary embolism, option C septic shock, option D myocardial infarction. So the answer is option B pulmonary embolism, because sudden hypotension plus tachycardia and no sign of bleeding, likely it's occur in the pulmonary embolism. So the answer is option B. Thank you everyone. Please like, share and subscribe. If you are liking the video and content, please like, share, and if you want to more updated video, please subscribe our channel. Thank you everyone.